So this is my demo level that I've created. So far it's just the generic control scheme with a few extra little twists and bobs. So this point is just a nice sort of big cube, actor cube that has a subtractive cube on the inside to create this tunnel. There you just saw a collectible just being picked up. I will explain this collectible later on. And throughout this tunnel you will notice that there are these sort of like cubes. These cubes are actor points which are used to represent the gems, just to give sort of like a different aesthetic to the game. So now this is coming to sort of like the big open area main bit of the level, and the player will obviously have to platform around to get to the different points. Now one thing you'll notice is these moving platforms. Again, these are blueprints that I will explain shortly afterwards. And also this, again, with the whole collectible thing, I will explain that shortly. And shortly I will show and explain the elementals. So now that we're nearing the end of the level, I feel now would be a good time to start explaining some of the different blueprints. You will see on the screen in a minute the three main blueprints I'm going to be covering throughout this. You'll see the timeline, which affects these moving platforms that you can see on the screen right now. It has the use of a timeline, which obviously has like a control and time, so that over the course of the period of time that you give it, it will move by X amount, let's say. And now you can see and hear the player input, of the changing of the elements. So I had to use some of the basic particle effects that Unreal had to offer, and I had to improvise what I felt was closest to some of the elements. So now that you've seen the demo level, I'm going to briefly show you the blueprints. I won't talk over the two that I've just explained. So firstly, we'll have the timeline. As you can see, it's just an event start with a timeline and then linking up with a lerp, so it changes the vector's coordinates and adds an endpoint. And on that endpoint we have a widget that we can control, so where the end point of the platform goes. Here you can see that you have the elemental changes, so on a button press it does a particle effect as well as a sound effect and then dies off after 3 seconds. I just copied and pasted this across all 3 of them. And here is the collectibles blueprint. So when the player comes into contact with the blueprint, with a cube, the cube disappears and they get a message saying they have collected a collectible.